an important aspect of the whole digital business strategy at the beginning is going to be understanding who your target audience is going to be all about. Now, your target group could be defined into deeper definitions like a detailed persona of a ultimate target audience. You could say you are looking at a single mom who is 31 years of age, enjoys her coffee, and has two kids. It could be as specific as that. You could also give your persona a real name. You could say her name is Susie. Now, Susie is a 31-year-old, is a single mom, is a digital entrepreneur, and travels across the globe and makes a difference in people's life. She is probably a yoga teacher. So you need to come down to that detailed understanding of who your target audience is. And in the process, you are going to identify and outline all the demographics of these audiences, how old they are, where they live, what is their age, what is their gender, which part of the world they are in. And you will understand when you start creating content with that exact customer in your mind, the customer persona, you will be amazed that how your whole content will start reaching out to those audiences. And very soon, the algorithms on all of these platforms, your Facebook, your Insta, your TikTok, will start understanding what is it that you're trying to do and start helping you cut through this chase and reach those audiences. So the part of the hook point formula is about instantly signaling the value to your audience. Now, after you have identified your audience, after you have defined your persona, your customer's profile, your customer's persona, you will be able to customize and develop content around that particular persona that you're trying to reach. In my case, for example, I'm trying to connect with 9 to 5ers around the globe who are done being a jobby, who are ready to now jump out of their 9 to 5 roles and pick up something more valuable, pick up something they are able to build, or maybe explore that option because they have already tried and tested a 9 to 5 for so many years. And guys, I want to give you this tip, okay? So at any point of time when you are not able to confirm that who exactly is your customer or who exactly is your target audience going to be, then you are going to go back 5 years before into your own life and who you were. That is exactly the kind of consumer that you are trying to connect with. Whoever you were 5 years ago, you were aspiring, you were looking at something, you were wanting to do something. Usually this should lead you to the answer of who your customer is going to be. For me, 5 years ago, 3 years ago, I was really seeking and I was pretty done with the kind of 9 to 5 jobs that I was doing, even after having moved to Germany. And I felt that, a job doesn't give you the ultimate happiness. And I decided that this is not what I want to do. And fortunately, unfortunately, earlier last year, I was given an opportunity where I realized that, okay, this is the time for me to, completely pack up everything I have been doing in a job space, go all in and decide to become an entrepreneur. While I started my business and I was really struggling with so many digital aspects of the business, like creating content, doing the sales, doing the marketing, I realized that this product that came my way towards the end of the year last year, it empowered me so much, not only to build my whole online space for my business, but also to build a whole personal branding space and build myself as a whole brand. More than anything, I want to be able to learn what is going on in the digital space, because the more I'm going into this space, the more it amazes me that what kind of an opportunity is available. I want to discuss about as a third point that why most of the people fail to build an audience. Now, many times we are not able to, differentiate between noise creation and creating connections. So people are consuming a lot, guys. There are approximately 100,000 words daily getting consumed by individual consumer across the board, across multiple platforms. There is a big trap of a generic content. Now, if you have not identified your customer, if you have not identified the end user of your product or end user of your service, you will also end up creating a lot of noise which is happening. Now, through my podcast, I want to also help you guys to build a full strategy around connecting to your audiences, because we are not in competition. We can collaborate together. We are definitely wanting to create more and more self-reliant entrepreneurs across the globe who are not dependent on their salaries, who are not dependent on giving their time, their 24 hours to make any kind of a money, who are looking at building a passive flow of income, an income which will continue to build over time, whether you are in it, you are working in it or not. Right now, while you're building up an audience, it's important to know that you cannot build a whole online space without having the necessary dedicated audience for whatever you are trying to create. You cannot be just another voice in the crowd. You have to really cut through the whole maze and able to connect with audiences and create some kind of a value, a value offering. Now, how do you create a value offering? Now, you need to find out what is that niche that you're going to create. You have to go really specific, guys. You need to understand what is that niche audience that you're trying to reach out to, and I'll tell you why you should know who is it that you're trying to connect. In this 3-second world that you are living in, we need to understand how we are going to create a niche of our communities, a niche of our customers. Now, why does this help you? Because the more sure you are about who your end user is going to be, the more you are going to educate the algorithm which is working on all your digital platforms, like your social media platforms like Instagram, Facebook, and all that. So it's now the reverse role, guys. We are not educating the AI, but we are getting educated as to how we can leverage the whole algorithm in our favor. Now, when you start building a whole audience for yourself, you need to also start building a niche community. And why a niche community? A niche community can be driven through a personal algorithm that you are going to build, or educate the AI on all of these platforms and the algorithm on all of these platforms to understand who are these people that you're trying to connect to. In the beginning, you are going to be creating a lot of content, and you have to go wrong. You have to go be messy. It's okay. You go wrong, get embarrassed, let people laugh it out. It doesn't matter, because you're still trying to figure this out. When we were growing up and we started walking for the first time, we did not start walking the first time, right? We fell down a number of times, and adults around us were probably laughing at us. But it doesn't matter. Today we walk, we can run, and we can do so many things on our 2 feet. Right? So you need to find those 2 feet and get stable in your careers, whichever part of the world you are in. If you are in a 9 to 5 and you are done in a 9 to 5 role and are seeking some greener opportunities, greener pastures, then digital space could be something that you can explore, guys. And there are many formats of this digital space. You could actually have a faceless digital marketing where you never show your face at all. You could be creating contents which are digital contents like ebooks or brochures or downloads, somebody who can learn from what you are creating. And you are not creating, guys, you will be documenting everything as you go. And the best part about documentation is that you cannot just lie. If I am sitting here today and trying to talk to you, I'm talking to you with my own learning, which I am building every day, and I'm immersing myself in a lot of content and a lot of knowledge. But in this case, none of the content surrounding me is noise for me, because it is exactly what I want to do. It is exactly chosen by me and sifted. So in this way, when you start creating content, you are going to be creating content for your niche audience you have identified, and you are going to cut through the whole algorithm chase so that the algorithm starts supporting you in reaching out to your audiences. Now, your own audience is that biggest filter, right? So that having your own audience is one of the keys to becoming successful in this digital space, guys. So you have to be able to also speak about a specific problem for a specific group. Now, it has to get more niche as you grow into this whole space. Instead of chasing trends, you could be building a beautiful tribe who deeply connect with your content, who deeply resonate with whatever you are speaking, and are willing to start working with you alongside. When you create tribes of like-minded people, then you don't have to be friends, or you don't have to follow content or people all around your social media, because they are not adding any value to your overall life. In a recent conversation with one entrepreneur in Germany, she mentioned to me 50 of your calls that you make, if out of those 50, 49 do not give you money, then you are already barking up the wrong tree. Right? So your content has to cut through the chase, cut through and come directly to that audience who is willing to buy, who is willing to get started, guys. Now, I have a little action plan for you guys and how you can cut through this whole noise in the digital space. To begin with, number one, you need to really define your unique hook. What is it that makes people stop and listen to you, right? This is a very important part. What is it that you will be doing for helping people, stop scrolling and apply that 3-second rule on your content. Apply that 3-second rule on the topic, on the thought that you want to connect with. Now you need to test and refine. While I'm doing my podcasting and recording every day, it's not the first take that you are probably listening. I have done multiple takes, but I must say, and I'm very happy to admit this, over a period of that last 7-8 days that I have been now recording myself every day, I have been able to reduce the number of takes. I don't have to go through the first, like in my first podcast, I had to take 20-25 takes, I think. And now I have been able to reduce it to few number of takes because I'm able to connect with my audiences. And the best part is that really nobody is listening to me. Technically, I am alone in my room and I'm able to record this conversation. But yes, I know who exactly am I speaking to, because over a period of this 1 week, I have been able to zero down on the target group that I want to connect with. I have been able to actually pinpoint the type of people I want to reach out to and be able to make a difference in their lives. If this thing, which is really empowering me so much for the times ahead, if I can add even small amount of value in anybody else's life, I'll be so happy. So you need to test and refine. You will have to decide what are those first 10 hooks. What is it that you can do? You will probably fail. No problem. You need to keep adjusting, guys. It doesn't matter. Now, you need to also be able to measure your engagement. Now, when you are doing measurement of engagement, they say what you cannot measure, it cannot be managed. You have to make sure whatever you are doing has to be measured. A measurement of all of your views, all of your likes, all of your comments talks continuously about the engagement. And if the algorithm finds out that the content that you are speaking about is reaching out to a certain set of audience who are interested to hear it, the algorithm will figure out a way to expose your content to like-minded people across the globe. Guys, you do not have to make that effort. All you have to do is start today and start creating a content. I challenge you guys to figure out a way to get started with one little piece of content, which is a step forward in your own digital space, not about your job. It's nothing about anything else. You can start with something as basic as Reels, as TikTok, or anything, any content at all. So also important is you can also repurpose your content wisely. This is something I'm learning. The content I use on Facebook and the content I use on Insta are usually never the same. I either have changed my caption or I've changed the format in which that content is being shared. A similar content on Twitter or a similar content on TikTok would be probably different, and it will require a different kind of a content. So I have a final challenge for the listeners today. Now, when you start and start auditing the next 24 hours and start analyzing the content that you are producing or the content that reaches out to your heart and resonates with you and you end up liking and sharing. Now, there could be a lot of content which is a lot of noise, and it is perfectly fine, guys, to unfriend people, unfollow certain content, start working on creating a content, creating a whole tribe and community of like-minded people in this crazy maze that we are now looking at. And also figure out a way of, while when you are analyzing your content, do your first 3 seconds grab attention. You can do this, you could maybe DM me and we could have a discussion around it. Or you could also connect with your friends and family and find out if your content and your hook point is able to help you catch any kind of an attention amongst your friends and family. You can engage with me. You can please DM me on any of these platforms. I'm available on Facebook, on Insta, on YouTube, and I'm also now available on Spotify. Guys, before I call it a wrap, I want to thank you guys for motivating me, for liking my videos, for following me, and I have few subscribers now. I'm really grateful for the support, guys. I am learning and I hope I can make some kind of a difference as we move forward in this whole space. I really want us all to figure out a way to get together. And I know this content cannot be for everybody. Like I spoke in my previous episode, every content is specific for a certain audience. And I hope I can make a difference in yours if you are the one following my channel. And it's a wrap. Thank you so much for following. Thank you so much for watching my episode today. Please DM me, reach out to me on Insta at priya.rao. I'll be so happy to encourage you and see that you're moving into a digital space, a digital entrepreneurship, and try your luck at all of this and learn as you go and make mistakes. It is perfectly okay, and build it up, because we say it's the first step is in your hands. The rest will be taken care of by a higher force. Thank you so much for your time, guys. Wishing you a beautiful evening ahead. Ciao from Berlin.